Hi and welcome to the Calligraphy Box. I'm Laura, the Operations Assistant, and I also create your boxes and your monthly content. And today we've got a question and answer session with one of our lovely subscribers, Nina. So welcome.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. So we're just going to have coffee and conversations.
Yeah, I'm excited.
A chat about calligraphy and your journey. So
yeah, it's been a short journey so
Yeah.
far. I'm just fairly new to this. It's like I say, it's a new journey for me, but I'm excited to see where it leads me, that's for sure.
Well, it's lovely to have you. So let's just start about, how did you hear about us and how did your calligraphy journey start with us in the first place?
Well, I hadn't heard of you by myself, I'll be honest. One of my friends had mentioned calligraphy to me, the Calligraphy Box in specific, and I had said I hadn't heard of them, so I went onto Instagram and had a little search and was just shocked. It was right on my doorstep. I mean, I live literally a 5-minute drive away and didn't even know it existed. And just beautiful stuff. And then we got to speaking about it, and friend and I, over coffee one day, and she was like saying, have you thought about doing it? And I was like, well, no, not really, I hadn't. But it's absolutely stunning work that Jenny does, and I had a little route around Instagram, and you go scroll through the whole page.
I know.
Before you even like the page, you have a little scroll. And I was just I didn't even like the page, actually. I didn't follow the page, I didn't like it, because I was a little bit like, well, yeah, it's lovely, but is that something that I'm interested in? Or why would I be interested in it? Yeah, it's lovely. So my friend and I just kind of left the conversation there. And then when we met again, we talked about it again, and it just, the conversation came up again about the calligraphy, and I was just, well, no, I hadn't really thought about it, but then I began to realise why my friend was so insistent that I looked at Jenny's page in a little bit more detail. And then at Christmas time, I got a 3-month subscription, or 6-month subscription, for the Calligraphy Box.
That's amazing.
Do you know what? It really took me by surprise. I was really excited to start the journey. And then I knew why my friend had given me the subscription box.
So I started calligraphy back in December as well, with the perspective to write blogs for the Calligraphy Box.
Okay.
So I was like you and started on the beginner's box, then box 1, 2, and now I'm up to box number 3. So how have you found the beginner's box and the first few boxes, considering you started at the same time?
I found the first box intriguing, actually, because I really didn't know what to expect.
It was a surprise when you opened it, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I didn't know what to expect, and I didn't read the card properly, so I didn't join any Facebook group. I was so eager just to dive straight in, and I looked at the video. I must admit, I didn't anticipate the video being that long, but I did have the time for the video. But it was so well explained, which really helped.
Yeah.
So I sat down, and I had a spare phone because I've just got a new phone. So luckily enough, I sat down with the phone, and I just found it so, I got sucked in. I got sucked into everything that was being said, how I was supposed to sit, how I was supposed to position my hands. Nothing that I would ever have thought about before, like the way you're supposed to sit. I think fortunately for me, the way I hold my pen and the way I write, I do actually handwrite one letter to a friend of mine anyway in London, where I'm from, because she doesn't have any social media, which I know nowadays is relatively rare. I still handwrite to her. So I write with my paper in exactly the same angle anyway. So it wasn't particularly alien for me to be in that position.
Yeah.
But I had never thought to put it together with my feet positioning, my hands, my arms on the table.
So
and
much
things
to
like
think
this.
about that you wouldn't normally think about when you go to write something.
No, absolutely not. Because when you're just writing a quick letter to somebody or a Christmas card or a birthday card, you literally just
Yeah.
and it's on the envelope and it's away. But the video was really captivating, I thought, and gave you an awful lot of insight as to how and why you would do something like this. And yeah, I really got sucked into it on the first lesson, I must say.
Yeah.
You know, really enjoyed it, and I was a bit afraid of pressing too hard, scratching my paper and all of that, and I really did. I really was a bit anxious about that. I'm not going to lie, I was really like, no, I'm pressing too hard, I'm going to break my nib, then what am I going to do?
I mean, even though Jenny explains that, you know, you literally can bend the nib as far back as you need to.
I didn't.
It's still that, it is, I know what you mean, it's still that kind of, I'm going to snap it and it's just not going to.
Yeah, I was too scared still probably to press as hard as she said, can press. Because I thought, no, I'm not going to even push this, I'm just going to just do the right amount of force so that I can just get what I need to do on paper. But I did find it really quite calming for many, many reasons on a personal level. And, you know, I'm very grateful for having the experience of doing this. And to learn something new. Yeah, I'm all about learning.
Exactly.
I'm all about learning, you know. As I was saying to one of your colleagues, I'm on my way to have a big birthday in not so many days away now. So I am all about keeping my brain very active for my brain health, my cognitive health, and this is just another skill for me, along with other reasons why I think my friend recommended this box.
That's amazing. So how did you find the progression of the boxes from the beginners to box 1 and 2, and I think you just started box 3?
I haven't started box 3 yet. I'm not ready to even open box 3 because box 1 I found was really, really good for a starting point. And like I said, the video was just so, and you get really entrapped in that. And then box 2, I was like, okay, I'm ready. Box 2.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think I was actually quite ready for box 2. And the boxes are beautiful, actually. The boxes are so well presented, and there is nothing that you could want more. The pen that comes with the box 1, and then obviously, so you'll probably hope that as a new subscriber, you do get the nibs and everything, which I didn't even know they were called nibs, but the nibs that you get. But box 2 came as a bit of a shock.
I think I was the same because you did feel really confident after the beginner's box, and you just felt like you were on cloud 9, you knew what you were doing, and you're hit with box 2. Definitely, I did find it a lot more challenging than the first one as well.
Yeah, and I read the booklet this time before I watched the video, because I thought, okay, I'm going to do this a little bit different this time. I'm going to actually read the booklet before, whereas I wish I hadn't. I wish I'd have read the booklet along with the video, which I then did, because the video for box 2 goes with the booklet so well.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how Jenny does it actually, because but it was far more intricate stuff, I found. And far more complicated.
And you're introduced to so many different words in this box as well, I think, because this is the copperplate box. And your introduction, and it is a lot more.
It's shapes.
Triangles,
ovals. It's shapes. It throws you really out of a comfort zone.
Yeah, it's doing your downstrokes and then jumping over.
Yeah.
So yeah, it does take a lot of thinking, I think.
Yeah,
box
definitely. So much more thinking than box one, but I think I got a lot more out of it towards the end, because I felt like during my practice, when I was writing my practice words, I felt a lot more fluidity.
Yeah.
From box one to box two, even though it was much more complicated.
Yeah.
I found I had a lot more fluidity.
I was quite scared of the oval shape, actually.
Yeah.
I think it's just such an unnatural shape to do every day.
But we don't write an A, I found, with an oval.
No.
My A's are very round.
And the J as well,
Yeah.
when it, you know, comes from the downstroke into the oval.
It's
and
very
then jump
alien.
in. Yeah.
But then I have found the whole experience very different. And I personally think I have very nice handwriting. My parents have always said I have very nice handwriting, but this is a whole different ball game to having very nice handwriting.
Yeah. So what do you feel confident for box 3? How do you think that's going to go for you?
I'm not sure. And I will open it, and with anticipation, I think, at the moment.
Yeah.
But I think box 2, I could be very wrong because I haven't opened box 3, but I think box 2 covered so much ground that box 3 maybe brings you back down again to a little bit more. But
more of a calming level, yeah.
Yeah, but I could be very wrong.
Yeah.
It could still be.
Do you think you'll approach box 3 in a different way from your previous boxes?
Yeah, I think I'll be a lot more confident.
Yeah.
I think I'll be a lot more confident, and I think I've got a little bit more, I've got a lot more idea, obviously, of what I'm going in for, because I had no idea at box 1. Now I'm at box 2, and I'm thinking, okay, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I've got an idea of this, I can do this. I could be very wrong.
What is your goal for calligraphy? I mean, have you got something that you want to do? Have you got an end goal in mind?
I think I only ever send special Christmas cards to my mum, to my special family. I would like to write them myself. That's my goal, is to write my Christmas cards. So
that's amazing.
I think I'm giving myself some time.
Well, we'll need to give you our address and you can can send us one.
Yeah, I think I'm giving myself some time.
Yeah.
Plenty of time. So I don't want to rush into something. So yeah, I've got.
And you'll get there, because on the Facebook Insiders group you see subscribers, you know, putting up their cards, their thank you cards. A lot of people do it. So
I have now had a look. I have
add
now a
that
member.
personal touch. You've got the invite.
I am now a member. Yeah, I think I got so, okay, I'm going to do this. I want to get in. I'm very much sometimes I just dive in. But I am now a member of the Insiders.
Yeah.
So
I think
some
I
beautiful stuff on
definitely,
there. People really, some very, very talented people out there.
a lot of time. People have spent a lot of time
Yeah.
on creating these beautiful designs that we're so lucky that they share with us as well.
I think time is something that you really need for this at my stage. At my stage, time is something that I have found. Okay, I have the time. I need to sit down. I need to switch off and concentrate. And
Do you find it easy to find the time? Like, do you put this as part of your day, or do you think?
I have been doing. Yeah. I think it's important. I think it's important to sometimes. Yeah, I think it's important sometimes to find time. It's like me time. It's maybe some people might go to a spa, some people might do a facial or meditate or something. I suppose you would put it in that kind of category.
Yeah, of course, self-care, isn't it?
Yeah, having some time out from doing housework or watching TV, which clearly there is nothing on TV lately, ever. So I suppose you would put it in that. I'm going to go away. I've actually moved it. I have a dining room table that's a bit wonky because it's sleepers. So I've actually moved it to an upstairs bedroom.
Okay, to have more of a level.
Yeah, to have more of a level table, more of a space, and actually I can switch off up there because there's no noise up there. I look onto fields, there's no outside noise, there's no car noise, there's no distractions, there's no TV.
So you have the perfect setting.
Yeah.
Because I find that as well, and I touched upon that in my blog for the left-handed learner calligraphy.
Okay.
And it's so important to have a calming atmosphere
Mm.
and just that environment where you feel comfortable and safe in.
Mm.
And I do think that's really important to have that to start your calligraphy.
I think it's, for the concentration, definitely.
Yeah.
You really do need to focus, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because as soon as my mind wanders, which sometimes, like everybody else, there's so much going on in everyday life for everybody. We're so busy.
Mm-hmm.
We're so busy with everything.
We don't slow down.
No, we don't slow down anymore, and I don't think we learn anything for the past couple of years of how to stop.
Yeah.
And
I think this is the polite nod as well to kind of put you on pause. You touched earlier upon some personal reasons as to why you're really grateful to have this box. Do you feel comfortable kind of explaining or just letting us into to what that is?
Yeah. I said to you earlier, my friend suggested the box. My friend suggested the box because about 18 months ago I was diagnosed with anxiety.
Wow.
And I had never ever had anxiety before that I was aware of. And she thought it would be a really good way for me to focus on something else. And so, and it really, really has helped. I do journal. I do journal when I have my anxiety attacks, but this was another way to focus and put my anxiety. So if I get a bit of an anxiety feeling, this has been a real way to channel rather than to write it down. I still, like I said, I still do go to the journal. I still do, because sometimes I need to do it in words quicker than calligraphy. But actually, my friend was completely right. I needed to take my focus and slow down and stop and put the energy into something else, and it really, really has helped.
I think that's amazing to hear, because our kind of ethos behind the Calligraphy Box is all about self-care. It's all about being calm and just getting in touch with yourself and kind of clearing your mind. And I know a lot of our subscribers actually do use the Calligraphy Box and calligraphy for that purpose. So it's lovely to hear that obviously what Jenny does and what we do is helping.
It slows my breathing down. It slows my breathing down.
Yeah.
If I'm feeling a little bit, sometimes I can feel the coming on. Sometimes I can't feel
is it
like
coming
on.
The panic or the heart racing? Is that the type of what you'd experience?
Yeah. So if I can feel it coming on, I know that I need to slow down. I know that I need to stop. I know that I need to put my energy somewhere else. In the past, it's become, I'd lost a lot of weight because it turned into high anxiety. But now I have learnt various different techniques, and a lot of people have been very helpful. But this has taught me to stop and breathe.
That's amazing to hear that this is one of your tools, one of your management tools.
Yeah, it's been really helpful. But it wouldn't have been something that I had ever have thought about. And it's nice to have good friends that have said, how about this? And I couldn't work out why. They were saying, well, have you thought about this? Have you looked at this? And I was like, well, no. Because sometimes you don't think, you go to the generic tools. And this is not a generic tool.
No, of course not.
It's a great tool, actually.
I think it's such a visual tool as well, because I think you do get so, I wouldn't necessarily say distracted, but you are in your whole world.
You definitely get distracted.
Do you think?
Yeah, you definitely get distracted, because when I have been on the boxes and practicing, I'm like, oh, that's the time. So you definitely get distracted, but not distracted in a negative way. You just lose time. And I can't see negative in that at this point.
I think definitely when you see everything laid out in front of you and you see the videos and you do feel like you've got your own personal sort of teacher in Jenny.
Yeah, definitely.
Did you feel that as well?
Yeah, she's definitely in the room with you.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And I feel that you don't necessarily feel scared.
No, she's very calming. And like I said before, she explains everything so well and in so much detail. I know I could not do that. I just couldn't do it. Not on a video. It might be okay in a classroom situation teaching like that, but not on a video, So yeah.
Did you ever see calligraphy as part of who you are? Because that's part of who you are just now.
No, never. No, but do you know what? I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. And if anybody said to me, I'm thinking, I would 100% recommend it to somebody for a number of reasons.
Yeah, and we'd spoken to you over direct message on Instagram. You actually sent your a little kind of snippet of your calligraphy, and you're definitely you're better than me 100%.
Well, I brought a practice sheet with me today, so you can have a look at that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm getting there, but it's slow. I'm not in any hurry.
Yeah.
I'm not. Yeah. Okay, Christmas, but I'm not in any hurry. I'm just enjoying the process. I'm just enjoying the process.
How did you feel when you initially opened the beginner's box? Because it is just so, I think it's quite regal because you get your wax seal, and your...
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
And no matter what you see on Facebook or Instagram, you can't quite appreciate it.
Well, that's what I was actually going to ask, because you're in the studio now and you've seen us on Instagram and you've seen the content we create. Do you think you get that feeling from the social media and the box? Do you think it does come alive in the box from what we do in the studio?
Yes, you get a sense of it 100%, but you still get that, oh my god, look at that. I showed it to my niece and she was like, oh my, that's lovely.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, and she was like, oh, that's so beautiful. You definitely get a sense of it.
So one of my obstacles when I first opened and started my beginner's box was from me being left-handed, and I would smudge the paper, I'd smudge the ink, I'd have it all down the side of my hand, and I really had to think about the positioning of my paper and the way I was sitting. So from tweaking and moving my paper up and just kind of tweaking my body to the right a little bit just to give me that stability, I found really helped, and it really made my calligraphy so much more beautiful. So what kind of obstacles did you have when you first started?
Just not obviously from a left-handed point of view, but pretty much the same. Finding that right position, finding the right position and putting my shoulders down. Yeah, putting my shoulders down.
Opening yourself up.
For a minute I felt that I was writing like that. I thought, oh no, gosh, what am I doing?
Breathe. Yeah.
Because you do, and I know Jenny does say, breathe. But you actually are amazing how much you forget how to breathe.
Yeah.
So that's a real obstacle.
I was holding my breath like I was underwater, and it was, when you write, you breathe in and then you hold it until you've done the letter, and then you just suddenly...
And it's not even really an obstacle, to be fair. I think it just becomes because I wanted to get it so right, and because I'm quite a perfectionist as well, forgot to say that. I'm such a perfectionist. I wanted to get it right the first time, so I held my breath until I finished the letter, and I was like, so my shoulders were here. I was holding my breath, and I was like, oh, for goodness sakes, I want to give myself a good shake. And just relax into the chair and take heed of what Jenny was saying. Relax, breathe, get into the right position. And I think once you've got that, once you take note of what she's saying and how she's saying it, there aren't any obstacles that you can't overcome, and they're not really obstacles as such.
It's just new, isn't it?
Yeah, it's technique. It's such a new concept to do. It's such a new position, and even right-handed, I needed to move my paper. Maybe it's just me, the way that I write. But
I
didn't
tend
want to
to
I didn't want to get my arm
like
off of
that.
didn't want to put my elbow off the table.
Yeah.
I wanted to stay in this, I wanted to stay comfortable.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's just to just breathe and relax. Yeah, just relax, because it's actually such an enjoyable thing to do. It's so pleasurable, and to see the end result, and I did write a thank you note to my friend, because I felt, and it's shaky, yes, but I will get there, but I wanted to say, and that was such a milestone after that first box, to say thank you. That's
So
the long
what
game.
advice would you give, or have you got any tips, of someone thinking about doing calligraphy or starting a subscription with us?
Just do it, and buy it as a gift for somebody as well. But don't. When my friend said to me about doing it, have I thought about it? No, I haven't thought about it. But don't think about it for too long, because I think the more I would have thought about it, the more I would not have done it.
I think that would have held you back.
Yeah, it would have done, and I dare say that I actually probably would never have bought it for myself, and that would have been a regret. So I think if it's something that you're even looking at and thinking, well, I might quite like to do that, I would just do it. Just do it.
Just buy it.
Buy it. Yeah, absolutely. Because having now experienced it, I guarantee it's something that you won't regret. For whatever reason it is that you're looking at it, there's a reason why, a subconscious reason, or maybe a subconscious reason why you are being drawn to that. Maybe it's something you've thought about in the past. Oh, I quite like that, or I would like to do that for somebody, for an event, for for your own mental health, for something, to take time out for you. But I think I genuinely know, the more I would have looked at it, the more I wouldn't have bought it for myself.
That's really interesting. But you've just dived in and embraced it.
So now I know, if I'm ever against that situation again, I would just buy it.
So it's kind of taught you a bit of a life skill in itself as well.
Yeah.
If you're unsure of something, but there's that niggle in the back of your head just saying, oh, I'd love to do that. Just do it.
Yeah, just do it. Just buy it. Yeah, absolutely. And if somebody is saying to you, I think I might quite like, buy it for them. Buy it for them and see how they get on, and then guarantee you probably buy it for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, that's amazing. Well, thank you so much for coming into the studio. This is all new to us. We've never done this before. I had a subscriber come in, and
well, hopefully you'll do it again to someone else.
Yeah, and you're more than welcome to come in for coffee and show us your progress.
With my thank you note for my Christmas
thank you for coffee. Well, thank you for being here.
No, it's been
really
lovely.
Appreciate that.
It's a really unique thing, and I think it's probably maybe a dying art, and it absolutely is an art.
Do you know what? I did touch upon that on my blog as well. I feel that we're bringing history back.
It's definitely an art form, and it's beautiful. And if anybody is thinking about doing it, just do it.
Just do it.
Yeah, it's been lovely. Thanks.
Thank you. Here we go.